Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're having a good day. Again, I'm trying to make a little video here, throwing some stuff up again about what's been going on recently, and of course, I'm going to talk about my little pet peeve a little bit again. I've been trolling, or I shouldn't say trolling, but strolling through YouTube videos, and again, we still have the word salad masters out here spinning tails, talking, saying a lot of stuff without saying anything. Just words, and everything like that. And they try to make it look like they're professional, and it really sets my what do you call it? My jangles a jingling, if you will, because for the most part, guys. Most of these people wouldn't have a damn thing if they didn't go out here and making you scared of everything or keeping your attention glued to them. They're no more than prostitutes on YouTube or whatever their platform they might use. And they talk and they force a video out that makes no sense. It really has nothing to do, and they stretch it out to try to get your attention. Of course, the reason why is because they make money off of it. And I'm really, I know people need to get on here to try to do something, get information out, and the only way really to get people to do it is offer money or other things like that, initiatives like that. And so that really brought out a lot of creators used to and for information and stuff, but now it's gotten kind of ridiculous with it's basically might as well watch TBS or ABC or some other kind of ridiculous TV channel with the amount of much sense as they're making and with everything to say. I might as well watch the evening news as watch some of these other channels. I swear, guys, it's really ridiculous what they do. So anyway, I'm going to ramble on and on, talk about this ridiculous stuff that other channels are doing and how ridiculous the whole YouTube experience has gotten that you can't turn it on anymore. It's a bunch of clickbait titles, meaningless word salad going on with entertainment. It is all it is anymore. I mean, might as well watch your fluffy bunnies go driving cars down the road or whatever the hell they're doing. And it's ridiculous, guys. It's used to be something that we really treasured and really liked, sharing information, getting stuff out to announce this. So I really got a tick about this, guys, that people are using this just to promote their own benefit, to make money. And I really think, that's bad. That's not what we are supposed to be doing here. It's supposed to be informing people and let people know things. But anyway, go ahead and talk a little bit about stuff. As y'all know, if you've not been keeping up, they got a ban going to start on TikTok beginning the 19th of January, the day before Trump takes power or takes over, or takes reign, whichever way you want to look at it. And it's kind of startling, everything like that, one of the favorite platforms of a lot of people is TikTok, that people do get out information. But there's also X and other channels, Twitter, whatever you call it, TikTok, Twitter, and everything else like that people put out information on. But this one is basically the reason they're targeting this, guys, is because it's owned primarily, mostly, and operated by Chinese or Asian investors. There's a couple of companies that's in America, but they're leaning towards Asian investments. And that's the reason why is because, the BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, and all the others that's invested in Twitter, Facebook, all these other platforms, including YouTube and Google and stuff, they're American owned. And so they don't like the idea that they cannot invest and control a Chinese company. So this is the reason why, the biggest reason why the banning. It isn't nothing about censorship, but they cannot control the content with threats of demonetization, basically, okay? And that's pretty much it, They can't control them, so they don't want them to operate. But here's the funny thing, guys, that Trump went ahead and talked to the guy at SoftBank. He's one of the ones that owns TikTok. And they talked out a sweet little deal where the guy at SoftBank is going to invest $100 billion into the United States in some sort of another. And I found it kind of odd that, SoftBank, of course, is behind TikTok and a few other things. Y'all look these things up, guys. I'm really serious. Look it up yourselves and find out who all they're connected to. But now, of course, Donald Trump's best buddy is Elon Musk. And guess who owns SpaceX, Tesla? Actually, Elon Musk Incorporated, the largest investors are BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, and a couple others like that. None of the Chinese operators are there. So again, we go back and look at why they want all this lithium. Why are they making this sweet deal with SoftBank, which is connected to Foxconn, which is a chip manufacturer? And then we know that that chip manufacturer is moving from Taiwan to the United States. Why is Foxconn trying to kick up things with a $100 billion investment in the United States? If y'all don't know, Foxconn has several, or not, won't say several, but a few locations in the United States where they used to make chips until COVID. Whew, that's a mouthful to say right there, guys. It's kind of odd that all this stuff is kind of connected together. One other thing I want to add into it that's going to happen before the end of the year and coming up probably in the next day or two, they're going to start regulating a little bit more and actually stopping people from using their recreational drones in one way or another. It is an FAA controlled device, which means you're supposed to have these things registered, even the smallest ones, the palm-sized ones. If they weigh over 250 grams, you're supposed to have it registered with the FAA. And if you don't, well, you can get in trouble. So flying these even in your backyard 20 feet off the ground can get you in a lot of trouble if you don't have them registered. There are some regulations now to make it even stricter, more stringent, harder for people to fly their recreational or hobbyist style drones. So expect something to come out for this. And again, odd things about this is that this is happening before the transfer of authority over the United States, the transfer of presidents Biden to Trump. All this is rolling out and happening before the change of power. Kind of odd that they're doing this. And basically what is going to happen with this new regulation, this new legislation is, you ain't going to be able to fly your drones over areas where you can record things like inaugurations or baseball games or congressional meetings or people arriving at the White House or anything like that. You'll be banned from doing this. Odd that they want to stop people from using TikTok, which they can't control the narrative of, and they want to stop people from flying their hobbyist drones around right before the inauguration. Makes you want to go hum, doesn't it? Well, I hope it does. I hope you pay attention, guys. I hope you're really starting to think critical, because this is the time we need to put on our thinking hats and really start paying attention to what the hell is going on. Well, things are getting crazy. I'll back up here. I got some notes here, guys. Anyway, about the drone restrictions. I already went over that. They're going to transfer all this over and everything like that. The other thing is, guys, I want to talk on is, if you haven't heard already, Nancy Pelosi, fell the other day and broke her hip. She's quite like 86 years old or something like that. So this is bad, guys. And for her, of course, they already got her in for hip replacement surgery. But since she's went in for surgery, guess what? I ain't heard jack diddly about anything from or about Pelosi. I used the word diddly on purpose. Okay? Think about it, guys. Think about it. Now, here we go again. We back up a few days ago, last week, we had a guy that got shot, supposedly, in New York by a rogue shooter, about the CEO dude with over United Health. We also know that he was caught up in an investigation, and that Pelosi is also part of this. And also, all of a sudden, Diddy, the diddler, is possibly caught up in this also. This is why all this is going down, guys. You need to think outside the bubble. Really think. This is really kind of odd that all this is going on just after Diddy, the diddler, diddly squat, got arrested and everything, put in protective custody. One of the things I want to point out right now, guys, is start looking at this. We heard a couple of sports figures stepping down from the limelight since Diddy got arrested. I'm going to expect a lot of this fallout, if you will, from this recent events this fall over into professional and college sports. I've already seen 2 stepping away from the light. How many more do you think is going to get caught up on it? And one more about the diddler thing. Of course, a lot of people are coming out saying they're not involved, but one of the largest voices out there swearing up and down, making the biggest noise about not being involved, is none other than our favorite uh, Prince from Bel Air, Will Smith. He is almost screaming and arguing people publicly now that he is not involved. So whatever's going on there, guys, with this, it's scaring the shit out of Will Smith. So it's got to be big. Got to be big. So the drones, guys. We're going to talk about the drones just a little bit, a little bit more. Everybody's seen these drones spraying stuff. Okay, supposedly spraying stuff. Again, put on your critical thinking hat. Think outside the bubble. Quit thinking what you're told to think. And pay attention that when you see these drones, this drone, not multiple drones, I've only seen one, supposedly spraying. If you look at the video, guys, the picture of it, it's more intense, if you will, like a spotlight is brighter at the bottom of it. As you go up this beam, it turns out a little bit dimmer. Just like in the video, it kind of looks like a spotlight shining into the air, and they're saying a drone is spraying. And I don't see anything falling, guys. I just see a light shining in the air. And if you look real little bit closer and everything, you possibly could see another drone, or excuse me, another spotlight shooting off to the right-hand angle of it. I do believe people are lying, maybe purposely or not purpose, but this spraying stuff, no. The ones I've seen, it reminds me of a spotlight shining in the air and nothing else. Because, guys, if you spray stuff in the air, it dissipates. The video does not show any kind of dissipation. One other thing about the drones, guys, if you look at these videos, and it's been going on for years and years, we've seen these USOs, or whatever you want to call them, going into the water and no splash. Has anybody wondered why there's no splash? And don't think about anything about anti-gravity stuff or cloaking or anything else like that, guys. Think about it. Whenever you displace water with anything, there's going to be a surge or a wave away from that. Correct? You can't displace water without you can't enter water without displacing it, causing the disturbance. So when these USOs, UFOs, or whatever you're going to call them, enter the water, they will cause a disturbance. And yet, nobody has showed any disturbance except that this object disappears as it touches the water. It doesn't really show it enter the water, it shows it disappearing. Because if it went into the water, it would displace the water. What we're seeing, guys, is holograms, lights, projections. There's a thing, Anna looked it up and everything, it's called ghost lights?
Ghost lights.
Ghost lights. And it's basically used in theatrical productions where you want to present like a 3D object in the sky. So you use different kinds of lights and other objects like this to appear to have a 3D object in the sky in a background. Guys, you need to pay attention, start being more critical about what we're doing. We're being told what to think, and guess what? Every damn one of you are thinking what you're told to think. My gosh, guys, I thought y'all was better than this. Hopefully you are. Hopefully you are. Go back again. Don't mess with the drones. No matter what you might think they are, no matter what you feel, do not try to interfere with them. Do not use a jammer. Do not take another drone up near them to see what they are. Do not shoot at them. Do not try to throw a net. If you don't want them to see what you're doing, go back inside. Okay? I mean, this is part of our life now. There are guys that are going on here. So, I mean, if you don't want to be seen, don't be outside. Otherwise, it's fair game. That's it. Don't look up. Remember that movie that came out a while back, Don't Look Up? Of course, it's talking about the comet that come in, but right now, it might be a better idea for us not to look up and get all afraid of everything that's going on and follow along with the crowd being told what to think of what these things are. Wow, it's crazy. One other thing, guys. I got a few more things. I'm going to share some clips from a video I caught earlier today. I'm going to share it with you. One of the things we got to remember, okay? Of course, the military, the government is lying about what's going on. Why do we know this? Because in every movie, every scenario we've ever seen in past, if there's an unknown object in our airspace, not even in just secured airspace, but in commercial airspace, y'all know what the reaction is. F-16s, F-18s, and everything else you can think of is flown on into the air and go to find out what that is. Radio messages are exchanged between the objects or objects that's in the air to get communications to find out who they are. And if there's no response, usually it ends up fatally for whatever object is in the air. But yet, we have not heard any kind of response at all from the government or military about going after and finding out, or even flying anything up to find out what these objects, drones or whatever they are what they're doing here. Nobody is doing anything finding out, so, they know what they are. They're also saying they're not ours, not from the military, okay? They're not from a foreign government either. But they cannot tell us where they come from. Why? It's because they can't. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start playing this video, guys. It's caught it earlier on another channel, so I'm going to play the clips. I can't play the person's whole video, but I can play these clips that come off of TikTok. Enjoy them. Listen closely.
So this pilot was saying that he was seeing this UFO, UAP thing flying around, what he saw. It flew up into the clouds, and he said as soon as it hit the clouds, this is what happened. He doesn't know what the object was. He doesn't know if it blew up. He doesn't know if this was exhaust, but it looks quite crazy. Look at that. It looks like the cloud is catching on fire and some gases. He said that he landed pretty close by in one of those fields, and within seconds, it was all like cordored off. And there were these officials that didn't say what agency or where they were from, and they just said that he could not enter the area.
Well, pause this. I forgot to mention something. I mentioned a while back about events supposed to happen around the first part of December and probably the end of December, 1st of January. One of the dates mentioned, I did not mention, maybe I did, it was December 3rd. If anybody's paying attention, these drones started happening around December 3rd. All these sightings, all these happenings and everything, all this stuff going on about this around December 3rd. This video here is talking about what was going on, what they talked about, the battle, the war in the sky.
Or the arena. I'm not one for conspiracies, and so I'm not going to comment too heavily on this, but I do want to know what's going on. Was any
or the fact that a CIA agent just went on Sean Ryan and said that there are at least 1,000 terrorists deployed in the United States right now? And is all this connected? Is it all different? But I'll show you one more thing before we end this topic for tonight. This is a research agreement which was signed back in June of 2023 in
Look it up.
New Jersey, baby. Let's go. Basically, it is to create a test and evaluation corridor for automated advanced air mobility technologies. Okay? How is no one talking about this? This seems to be clearly what it is, right? Because it's a corridor where they're testing out drones. Am I crazy? Under the terms of the agreement, the parties will cooperatively develop a prototype dual-use U.S. East Coast test and evaluation corridor for the demonstration, development, and evaluation of military, commercial, academic, and federal government UAS and AAM technologies and future applications to strategic growth capabilities. I gotta say, the NARTP is looking like safe out there in Jersey, fam, and all of U.S.
The information they're going to give me as they come forward, because they've all been gone now, they're only communicating with me. I'm going to hand off to every celebrity and every media outlet and every influencer I know. And I need you guys to do the same thing. And it'll be open source. It'll be on a site that is blockchain protected, that's now stood up. And it's got to be seen by several billion people within a few days. So that means it's got to go wide. We're not talking about ufology and a handful of UFO nuts knowing about this. And the reason for it is that this summer he came to my place in Washington, and he says, we don't want to risk our lives and our families' lives. And the main guy has 3 children, 2 of them are still fairly young, and he doesn't want to have his whole family killed for no good reason. In other words, where this gets released, and it's a tree that fell in the woods, nobody heard. So I said, let me put together this asymmetric disclosure where regardless of what the bureaucrats in Washington do, or London, or anywhere else, it's seen by a large number of people. It's like what I've always said, you squeeze the toothpaste so hard out of the tube, it cannot be put back in. But listen, everyone listen, if you're an influencer, if you've got a YouTube channel, Facebook, TikTok, X, we're going to have it on the site where you can download it and put it everywhere. So this has got to go viral, and it's got to go hard. Now, I don't have a...
Let's talk about the drugs. It's getting weird. I spent all night watching different videos from different people. One, they're not just in New Jersey. They're everywhere now. A lot of different states are reporting. I grabbed a couple of clips from other creators. I'm going to tag them all, but let's look at this clip real quick. So this one is in New Jersey, and it's the triangle-shaped drones. Okay, this one was in New Jersey, but watch the way it hides itself. Bloop, lights off.
These are not drones flying in our
This one's Arizona.
Lights.
There's no way they're drones.
Oh, they are what again, Anna?
This thing just sat for about 20 minutes.
See, and this is not
Sat station. I'm gonna do a take look at it, come back out.
This looks like a ghost light.
Ghost lights.
That's not
Look
a
it up.
drone. That's not any kind of... Right, this one was also New Jersey, and it's a drone. And this one was really crazy because a little one comes off the side.
Fast forward.
Watching the skies for you. I've got another one. That is not a star. That is the moon. That is a star over there. It's triangular in shape.
See, she's saying it looks triangular.
And again, when I zoom up closer, it's spinning. That's not a star.
It's like an orb.
These things have defined almost every law of physics that we know.
They do that all the time.
This one is really
Have
crazy.
you seen the phone
Physical
video?
objects.
Definitely go watch this
They
whole
really do
video.
this.
It's two
So it disappears.
I'm waiting for it to light up again, because the plane just
What's
flew
this?
past
Okay.
it. See
Boom,
what the
there
fuck?
it is.
Those fire
It lights itself.
What
When
just
an
happened?
airplane
What
moves.
is going on? What is that?
It seems like so much more has happened since my last post on this. I had someone tell me about these strange radio interference noises that maybe were coming from these drones. And then right after that, 5 videos popped up on my feed of people recording the same thing, of this really weird signal coming through. But then someone figured out that if you sped up this audio 5 times, it sounded like a normal broadcast. So something was messing with the signal.
He did a great job with that, by the way. And
This is from Alex
I think
Jones'
what the public needs to understand is this is a 75-year strategic plan that we're seeing unfurl before our eyes, and it's very worrisome.
Blue
because the prediction was made by no less than the Nazi rocket scientist Werner von Braun to his spokesperson, Dr. Carol Rosen, who will be with me on this coming Sunday, the 25th of April, doing a 20th anniversary of the Disclosure Project event. And he told her on his death in 1974 and 5 and 6 that there had been a plan made where they would hoax an alien, and that this alien would be rolled out slowly through an indoctrination and psychological, but there would be a scaling up with all kinds of stage. And she actually saw, when she worked for an aerospace contractor as one of the first women executives, a plan in the 1970s up and through now to this day outlining things like these were all things that were planned.
That's
out,
not me doing it.
Specifics
It's been
of it, the general
clipped.
thrust of it. So this sort of endless scenario is something that's been known, and our group has known about for a very long time.
Being extremely troubled, referring all questions to the FBI. FBI officials say they are a situation. Comment further, a lot of the firefighters and police just left the scene within the last 20 minutes or so. I asked one firefighter right before he left if they found anything in that wooded area behind me. He politely said that he is not at liberty to say.
They're carrying something out. Several somethings.
Something called vampire drones right here on screen. And vampire drones, they can go on top of energy grids and they can grasp it and hold it with these special clamps, special devices, and then it siphons the energy up into the drone. So EMP equipped vampire drones, could this really be what's being covered up in Hillsborough and more?
Her name is Lisa. She's driving back to Broad.
Very slow moving and stationary. Not the sudden fast movements to make me believe that there was some other type of craft. Now, I'm a skeptic of this guy.
I'm going to talk about this orange drone that got shot down or whatever and everything, guys. Again, there's so much technology that we're not understanding, but everything is pointing to this is a psyop. Now, I keep hollering that we're seeing holograms, ghost lights, and everything like that. And I'm going to retract that a little bit. I don't think all of it is hologram. I do believe a lot of it is holographic. Again, PSYOP program is in full operation. This is Operation Bluebeam, and they got everybody running scared. 5,000 reports already in the past few days have been turned in about reported UFO sightings. 5,000, guys. There's even copycats going out there. People throwing toys up in the air and taking videos of saying it's a drone or UFOs, and it's crazy now, guys. And this is what happens when they do this. The only reason they're releasing all this information, guys, I mean, if it's really anything to be what they just want to keep quiet, if they, whatever, they wouldn't be releasing this, guys. They're doing this on purpose, releasing this information, propagating it, promoting it, and adding to it just to scare the hell out of everybody and get us ready for the dystopian Orwellian shutdown on everything. Of course, again, this goes back to hopefully, and maybe even on the election or anything, that it might be stopped. But who knows? Let me go ahead and play out the rest of this. I think I've got a couple more minutes on this. But guys, this is one of the biggest PSYOP programs I've ever seen in my life. And everybody's taking it like a starving fish seeing a worm.
In the UFO disclosure stuff like that. But this is what he said. He's talked to his inside sources, and it's nothing.
We saw this day before yesterday here near Pittsburgh. Sudden flocking away from the east, westward, and south.
Now, if we put this up here on screen, it says that all of these birds
just happened over Ohio. So this pilot was saying that he was seeing this UFO UAP thing
Starting over,
flying.
sorry. I wasn't paying attention. Guys, right there's a lot of stuff right there that we need to consider what's going on before we start drawing our conclusions about what this is. This is a PSYOP program, no doubt about it. Operation Bluebeam is full on. And we keep going on, and sooner or later, I guess we're going to see green hippie aliens landing in the backyard. All right? I hope y'all have a good day. And as always, do something nice for somebody. Do something nice for yourself. But be groovy. Later, taters.